All right. Hey, everybody. Hey, ladies. Hey, guys. We've been back here having these technical difficulties. The devil is a lie.
It's okay. It's okay.
The devil is a lie. We
Mm.
have Brittany Evans here, and I am so,
Hey.
so excited to have Brittany here. Um, Today is the Brittany show.
I'm good at that. No, I'm just
Brittany
kidding.
is a very motivated entrepreneur. She is a mother of two. She has a very successful career in corporate America. She owns her own business, Bar Brittany. She's a philanthropist. She loves to give and help others. She loves to volunteer. I mean, this woman is absolutely amazing. Amazing. Hey, Brittany.
Hey, thank you for the great introduction.
Well, it's true. Like that's who you are.
Well, thank you. Yeah, if there's any free time in the day, I try and make it unfree. Don't worry.
So, Brittany, could you tell us more about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So I am, like you said, a single mother of two. I literally had my son straight out of high school. Like I graduated high school and got pregnant like 2 months later. Um, but I had a full time job. I was doing okay for myself. So I've been a single mother uh, just as much as my life if I hasn't been a mother at this point. So, my son has been around since I was 18 years old and I'm 36. So, literally half my life I've been a mother. But I had a pretty good job. I started working when I was 14 and had a pretty good job straight out of high school. I graduated, but I had a full time job. I worked for Illinois State University straight out of high school, and I did pretty good. So I bought my house when I was 19. So I wasn't a typical single teenage mom, I guess you want to say, but I kind of tried my best to make things happen because it becomes about your kids once you have them more so than it is about you. So I'm a mother first and foremost. I also work for the state of California. I help low income communities with grants to update and fix their water systems, either in the city, the county, or the schools. So that's what I do regularly in my corporate America job. And then I also own a business called Bar Brittany that I actually started during the pandemic. And it's been a lot more successful than I ever could have imagined that it was going to be, just based on an idea that ended up flourishing into a business. So it's been a wonderful opportunity, and it's been a wonderful thing to see something that you could take a talent with and turn into income. So that's been a wonderful thing as well. And then, yeah, I still rent out my house in Illinois. I live in California now, but I lived in Illinois since I was like 9, 10 until about 2 years ago. So once I moved here, I continued to hold on to my house so that I hopefully have something to pass down to my kids, and I rent it out. And that became another source of income as well. And yeah, I do other things. I sing. I've been on the radio. I've had several performances. I actually just got called today and asked to perform on Sunday at an event for Stephon Clark. And yeah, I do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I Doordash sometimes. Yeah, just a number of things. Any opportunity I have. I'm part of the California's Black Women's Mental Health Project. So I am a volunteer with that, but we get paid stipends for that as well. And yeah, I just, I try to get it in. I'm a graduate of Illinois State University, so Illinois State alumni, and I try and give back to that when I can, whether it's donations or sitting on alumni panels and things of that nature. So any chance you get when you do well in life, make sure you give back.
Amen. So,
Amen.
Brittany, you just ran down a lot that you do to generate multiple streams of income. So, what I'm
Yeah.
going to do, I'm going to start first. When you were 19, let's talk about this. When you were 19, you bought your first property. So
Correct.
now you rent it out. So now that's residual income where you're getting
Correct.
income every single month.
Yes, ma'am. Every single month, as long as they pay their rent with COVID, because COVID is kind of on the renter side, not the owner side. But yeah, that's income that you're kind of making, without doing too much. I mean, granted, I still have to fix things on the house when they go wrong and things of that nature. But there's warranty programs and stuff available that'll help you. Because I do have an older house. My house was made in the 40s, technically, and I bought it in 2004. And it's 2001. So I've had it for quite some time, but of course they need fixing up and things of that nature. But once you take care of those things, they kind of last for a while. So yeah, so that's one of the things I have that you just kind of, I don't want to say sit back and let it happen, but that kind of is kind of what it is, especially with everything going up. You could always, adjust with the economy, raise your rent, and you're still making more money, but still paying your same mortgage. So
Exactly. And one of the things that I love that you said was just creating that generational wealth. So you
yes.
have that house to pass down to your children.
Correct. Yes, ma'am. I actually, when I first moved to California, I was trying to sell my house before I moved, and I was trying to sell it once I moved here, and then it ended up not selling. And then eventually, I had tons of people that wanted to rent it, but nobody that wanted to buy it. And it got to the point where I'm like, okay, I got to do something. It's not selling. Let me go ahead and look into this. And I kind of looked into, and it doesn't require too much. You just have to make sure you're following your county or city guidelines in regards to renting it out to people. You have the proper smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors and fire extinguishers and things of that nature. And you can make money that way. So you rented it out. And once it didn't rent, I took it as a sign. Like, I'm like, okay, maybe this is a sign from the Lord. So I've had my house since I was 19. It'll be paid off fairly soon. I mean, not real soon, but sooner than some other people, that may not wait till they're 30 to buy a house. I have an extra 10 to 20 years on other people. So once that's paid off, it'll be mine, and you have to pay property taxes every year and things of that nature. But I love my parents and they've done the best that they can and stuff for me, but I didn't get passed down any properties. So I'm like, if I can have the opportunity to do that for my kids, maybe I should just go ahead and hold on to it and do that. And whether they want to rent it out to somebody else or they want to live in it themselves, at least they have something that they can call their own, something that will be theirs and nobody else's.
Exactly. Because a lot of life events happen in life, right? And you never know when you need to go home. So that's very good. That's very good. And another thing that you do is you own Bar Brittany. Now, we hosted a Bar Brittany event. Y'all,
it was so much fun.
Y'all, it was so much fun.
It was so much fun. And I did it at my aunt's house because her kitchen is just amazing. Like, not that mine's not, I like my kitchen, but my aunt just has like the ideal, kitchen area. So I hosted it over there and I literally went to her house the day before yesterday. She's like, oh, look, I was making drinks tonight and I decided to muddle the strawberries and add some simple syrup to it because I saw that on your Bar Brittany. I'm like, yes, auntie. So it just always feels good. And then I have somebody else that was on the Bar Brittany event, that same event that we're talking about with Ladies with Ambition. And she emailed me pictures all the time. Like, girl, like always sends me little pictures of drinks that she's making herself on weekends, just because the little things that she learned through a Bar Brittany event has helped her going forward, making drinks. So that's the joy of Bar Brittany, is that you actually learn for yourself what to do. So you're not just, sitting in on a Zoom meeting, you're learning a skill that you can go forward and do yourself. So it's been a wonderful opportunity, and it's way funner than I ever can imagine. Like, I knew it was going to be fun, but I have so much more fun at these events than I ever thought I would. So they're great.
Yes. So what Brittany does is she hosts events where she teaches you how to make cocktails. And we had about 10 ladies from the Pretty Ladies with Ambition group. We were all in this house party app, and she was just teaching us how to make these cocktails for Valentine's Day and for the Super Bowl. And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. And she charged us a small fee to be able to host it, because she is a businesswoman and it is her business. So, and how did you come up with that idea during COVID?
So I've been a bartender since 2006 on the side. So I've always had a good job, like usually a managerial job, some kind of position where I'm in charge. But I'm still a single mom. I've been with other people at some point, but that didn't work out. I've never been married, and you have to be able to provide for your kids, and it's not cheap. Kids are in activities, they want to be in gymnastics, they want to be in football, they want to be in dance class, whatever it might be, and that stuff is not cheap, especially in Illinois. You have to pay for school supplies, like they don't provide those for you. Out here in California, they provide the school supplies. It's kind of nice, actually. But out there, I would spend a good $300 a year on just school supplies to get them started, not counting all the extracurriculars. So you have to me, it was important that I was a single mom, but my kids were still able to get everything they'd be able to get from having a dual parent household, and no, it's not easy on me, but they didn't make that choice. You know what I'm saying? It's not their fault that I'm a single mom. It's not their fault that I may not have two incomes. So I always have come up with ways to make up for that additional income, primarily for my kids. So when I started Bar Brittany, I was a bartender. That was always my little side hustle that I went to anytime I needed money. I would go somewhere and bartend. In Bloomington, it was pretty easy. There was usually only like one black club at a time, and I was typically the bartender there. So if you're from Bloomington Normal, I'm sure you've seen me at some point at one of the black bars in town, because I'm usually the bartender at one of them. So I did that for a long time, and then when I moved here to California, I started working at a bar called Fixin's. It was a bar and a soul food restaurant. It wasn't just a bar. And working there, it was owned by Kevin Johnson, who is the previous mayor of Sacramento and also previous NBA player for the Phoenix Suns. Back in the days, you got to be an 80s baby to know who Kevin Johnson is, the KJ shoes and, and all that kind of stuff. But I was working for him at their soul food restaurant bar, and it ended up being very, very lucrative. Like I made very good money there because we had a variety of clients and a variety of customers that came in there due to KJ being the owner, and it being a soul food restaurant. So starting with that, during COVID, we had to close down. And I was making really, really good money weekly. I've already talked to you about it before, but it was a good amount of money that I was making every week. And COVID kind of shut all that short. And I still had my job with the state, so I felt like I was luckier than some other people that were there where that was their primary income. So I chose not to take shifts when they were offering them and still doing to-go food and stuff like that. But I had to come up with a way to make up for that extra money because it makes a difference. So once I started back at Fixin's, when it was just limited hours, it was not the amount of money I used to make, but it still helped. But I'm like, okay, I need more than this. I'm either gonna have to quit this and find something else, or I'm gonna have to make it work, So I used to always have people ask me, well, how do you make this drink? Well, what do you put in this drink every time I was making drinks? So I took that and started being like, well, you know what? I'll tell you what, if you want, I could come and show you how to make this drink. Well, I could come and show you what's in this drink. So then I started networking even more with the customers that I already had and started going to their houses and showing them how to make their favorite drinks that they like to order from me at the bar themselves. So they would call their friends and family over, and it would kind of be like a paint and sip, but without the paint, it was all sipping. So it ended up being a lot of fun. Like it ended up being a thing that I really enjoyed, that the customers really enjoyed. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I can make a business out of this. So I did my research, and there really wasn't anything else out there like this. So I kind of took that and ran with it. I started doing Bar Brittany parties. Once I started doing Bar Brittany parties, I made sure I had my bartending certification. I got an LLC for Bar Brittany. And then I went from working every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for Fixin's, which is the restaurant I was at, to only working maybe 3 or 4 times a month and making the same amount of money. So it ended up being very beneficial to me as a parent. I got more time with my kids, and I wasn't having to work every weekend and every night to make additional income because I'm still working during the day. I've always had a daytime job. So it prevented me from having to work from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and go in somewhere else from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. The great thing about Fixin's is that they close at 8 or 9. So some of the other bartending jobs I'm at till 2, 3 in the morning. And when I stopped bartending, it was because I was tired of being out till 2, 3 a.m. on weekends. So I loved that about Fixins, that they closed early and I was off early. But this allowed me even more time. I may be done for my weekend at 5, 6 p.m., depending on what time somebody has their party, or 8, 9 p.m., but it's on my schedule. So I wasn't working myself to death anymore and was able to make up for the same income I was getting working every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just a few times a month.
And that's two things that you just mentioned. Number one is time freedom.
Yes.
Time freedom to be able to do what you want with your time. That is part of financial freedom. And number two, the thing that you mentioned was having that money for your kids' activity, right?
Yes.
Because they they want to be a basketball cheerleader. They want to shop on Amazon. They want to do everything.
They do. They want to do everything, and they don't understand no, or I don't have it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if too many parents, you as parents don't discuss your finances with your kids. You don't talk about how you're going to pay your bills for the month with the kids. So, you tell them I ain't got the money. They don't really know what that means. I mean, they may say okay and may be understanding of it, but deep down inside, are they disappointed? Of course. They don't. Okay, mom, I understand. And of course they want to be understanding of it, but is it fair? And there's some things we can't do. And I understand that, but there are programs and stuff available to apply for scholarships or, whatever that may pay your children's way through some of those. So I definitely encourage people to look into those, because I know the YMCA, the YWCA definitely have things of that nature. And I'm sure a lot more local things as well. My daughter used to dance for BCAI in Bloomington, and they had scholarships as well for their dance program, where they would pay and you got discounted amounts. So definitely always look into those things. But it was just important that the kids still get to do what they want, that they're not missing out because you're a single parent, Yeah.
And another thing that I wanted to talk about, so we talked about your income stream as far as the real estate. We talked about your income stream as far as Bar Brittany, and we're going to give them one more, and that's Doordash.
Oh, yes. So I love Doordash. Like, people may have their little say. So I've had people be like, well, I don't want food in my car. Well, I don't want my name on the internet, or whatever, their own excuses for it. I love Doordash. Doordash paid for my entire Christmas for my kids, and I am not playing. So when I signed up for Doordash, I had an incentive where if I made so many deliveries, they would give me $1,800. And guess what? I made those deliveries by that time on purpose because I wanted that $1,800, and I got that $1,800. And I paid for my kids' entire Christmas, and then some bills and stuff too, with Doordash. And it was only in my time. I only Doordashed maybe 10 to 15 hours a week tops. It was rarely 15 hours a week, but on average, I would literally get up in the morning before my kids went to school, and I would Doordash from 6 to 8 a.m. And then I would Doordash again in the evening from 6:30 p.m. after traffic was gone. Because in California, you go out anytime between 3:30 and 6 p.m., you're going to be in traffic for half an hour to 45 minutes. No. 6:30, literally, it's gone. So I would only Doordash, and then that allowed me the opportunity to make my kids dinner, give them the dessert if they wanted it. I would go Doordashing from 6:30 to 8:30. I'd be back home in time to put my daughter in the bath and put her in bed before 9 o'clock. So to me, that was important because I was able to make my own schedule. I was not mandated, I guess is what I'm looking for. I to work any specific time. You literally just dash when you have the time. And there's other things aside from Doordash that do that kind of thing. Like, you can go grocery shopping for people these days. You can do Uber, you can do Lyft. Those kind of things really do work on your schedule, which makes a difference, especially when you're a single mom. But I mean, it can make a difference for anyone, even if you have a husband or you have a wife. If you guys can schedule those times to earn income, even when you have the time, even if it's just for an hour or two at a time, it makes a difference. So I was making on average about $450 a week doing Doordash with less than 15 hours a week.
Part-time. So that's 16, 1700 a month
A month. Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
extra.
Yeah. And then sometimes they offer incentives. Like I told you, we talked yesterday, and I told you they offered me, I haven't been door dashing lately because I don't do it all the time. And that's the great thing about it. It doesn't mandate you to have to do a certain number of hours, a certain number of times a week, a certain number. None of that. None of that is required. If you would like to earn Top Dasher, you have to which Top Dasher is basically you get to dash whenever you want. They offer you a little more, like you're kind of the first to get some of the orders type of thing. But I was Top Dasher when I was trying to get that 1800. I got it. But after that, I really haven't been Top Dasher. Once I got that, I was like, okay, I'm done for a while. But like right now, I haven't even DoorDash in a month or two. So when I don't need it, I don't do it. But the great thing about it is when I do need it, it's available to do. You have to be signed up for it in order to do it. But when I do need it and I need some quick money, I do it. And we get paid weekly with DoorDash. There's even an option to transfer your money immediately to your bank. So literally, if you need gas money tonight, if it's that bad and you hurting, or like me, I like to keep my savings at a certain point. So instead of pulling out of my savings and getting gas money, I'll go door dashing for a night or two. I'll transfer that money to my account, and then I don't have to touch my savings.
And I'm glad that you mentioned that, Brittany, because last year during the pandemic, a lot of us and a lot of people were out of income because we didn't have 6 months of income saved up. And during these side hustles like DoorDash, you can have that income saved up in case anything happens. Anything happens to your car, we talked about yesterday. Anything can happen to your house. Anything can happen with your job. You have that money in your savings.
Absolutely. It's important to have that money in a savings or to have some kind of credit card where you have an available balance so that you can pay for a car emergency, or you can pay for appliance emergency in your house. Your washer doesn't work no more, your stove stops working, or if you own your home. If you rent your home, sometimes it's nicer, but either way, ain't nobody gonna cover your car, unless you have a warranty, and if you do, you have a co-payment. But it's always important to keep that extra money with DoorDash every week, no matter what, because it's technically extra income. I put $100 no matter what every week into my savings account. That was money I wasn't going to see regardless. And it doesn't seem like much, but 100 a week can end up adding up. And if you have more to put in your savings, put more in your savings. But no matter what, I put $100 every time I got DoorDash into my savings account, just so I have something to fall back on in case my tenants decided to stop paying the rent in Illinois. I need to be able to pay my rent here and my mortgage there, So those kind of things are very important to have something to fall back on so that you're not struggling, your kids aren't struggling, even if you hate to take out of it, at least it's there to take.
Right. And another good reason too, I like that you said the word struggle, right? Because the other day I went to the gas station and gas is going up. It's like 3 something, and I know over there where you at is 4 something.
$4.
And then the groceries going up ever since. Even when I went to go get my nails done, my nails. Oh my God.
Groceries gone up, nails gone up, rent's gone up. It's all gone up. You would think after a pandemic, maybe stuff would be a little cheaper, but that has not been the case. At least not here. It doesn't seem like there neither.
Yeah, so with everything going up, you need to find additional ways to increase your income. Like Brittany said, even making $100, $200 a week additional, that adds up $400, $800 a month, and you just putting that back in your savings just in case of an emergency, like last year. They're predicting that 8 years from now, there's going to be another pandemic. So we have to start preparing now for what could potentially happen in the future.
Yes, you definitely do. You need that emergency backup money. And it seems hard, especially if you're struggling. Me, of all people, I understand. I've been a single mom for a long time. If you're struggling, that little, $400 or $500 makes a difference. That little $5,000 in a savings account makes a difference. You could be using that to pay bills. You know what I'm saying? But it's very important that if you can, really try not to use it. Really try to ignore it and act like it's not there. One thing that I did was I got multiple bank accounts. So I have some money coming out of every check that goes into a bank account that I don't ever use. Like I don't even have an ATM card for. You know what I'm saying? So that way that money is stuck in that account. I can't really get it out unless I go in person. And it's a bank that's in Illinois. So I can't go in person here in California now. And I still have that money coming out every check going into that account. So little things like that. Again, it could be $100, it can be $50. It's just little things that you don't think of, but you will have backup money to prepare for that kind of thing, and you need that extra income, whether you realize it or not, whether you're married, whether you're single, you need to be able to pay some stuff off. Say you have some debt that you need to pay off. Say that I talked about having an emergency credit card. An emergency credit card means there shouldn't be a balance on it. So if you have a $3,000 balance credit card, you should try and keep it down to 0 or 500 or less. You know what I'm saying? So that you have that emergency funds to use if you need it. So if you spend 500, and you can't afford to pay the $500 balance, then pay 250. Pay 200, pay whatever over the minimum. The minimums are literally set up to get more money from you. The minimum payments for credit card payments are designed to accrue interest and have you pay more to them than what you paid for yourself. It's like a loan with super high interest. And that's all a setup. Pay more than what if your minimum is $60, pay $100. That $40 is not going to make or break you most of the time. Some months it might. If you could only pay the minimum, then pay the minimum. You know what I'm saying? But you need to have those type of things available to you to use when you genuinely need it. If there's a pandemic or you can't pay your bills or something's going on where your income has been reduced, you don't want to have to use it all at once, but you want it to be available for you to use at your discretion.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I always think about is, creating generational wealth. Everybody's like, oh, here you work full-time in corporate America, and then you're starting a business and you're here, you're there. Because to me, number one, educating people is important. And number two, generating multiple streams of income, because it's only one of me, is important, especially with the way that the economy is going. But you will end up broke and homeless if you're not out here trying to make additional income for yourself.
I mean, sociology was my major, and we talked about in sociology running out of Social Security at one point in time. There's not going to be enough there to last all the way to our generations. When we're 60 years old, we may not have the Social Security there that people do right now, especially after the baby boomers and the other generations that are going to come in. And there was a lot of people in the baby boomers. I don't know if y'all know or not, but there's a lot of baby boomers. And that money may even be drained. It's a possibility that it can be drained by the time we're ready to collect Social Security. So if that's something you're depending on solely right now at 30, I know we don't like to think about it when we're in our 30s or when we're in our 20s or when we're in our 40s. We still got time. It's something you have to think about. If your job offers opportunities for you to put more money into your retirement, please do that, because there's a possibility that money may not be there for you one day unless you're putting it in there yourself. So that's something that's very important to keep up with is your Social Security, your financial stability for when you retire. Are you going to retire comfortably? Are you going to be able to pay your rent somewhere and not work? Or are you going to have to I get so sad when I see 60, 70, 80-year-old people working and grocery stores and different places, unless they're working by choice, and that's a beautiful thing. They're staying busy. But sadly, there are some older adults that don't have a choice, and they're still having to work in their 70s and their 80s just to be able to maintain a living. And, nobody's going to make that happen for you but you. Nobody else is going to put that money into there unless you take the initiative. A lot of people will match it. That's what a lot of people don't understand. A lot of your jobs will match some of those things that you're putting into accounts, but you have to look into it and you have to start to do it yourself. Nobody's going to do it for you.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely, Brandy. This has turned into a financial education.
Girl, because because I didn't know, until
all
somebody
tied
told me it. I'm not
together.
gonna lie. Like I worked for the state
Mhm.
of California, and my mom's boyfriend was a previous state employee, and he came to me. He said, they have credit recovery departments at the state for you. They have departments that'll help you buy your own house. They have departments that'll help you put more into your retirement. No, I didn't know any of that. I'm not going to pretend like I did. I did not know until somebody told me. So then once they tell you that, if you don't take advantage of that kind of stuff, you crazy. You setting yourself up for a harder life when you get older. And don't none of us want a hard life. I'm trying to be on cruises and traveling once I retire.
Wow, living in luxury, right? We deserve so much more. We deserve so
Yes.
much better. And we can work our way out of any situation. So,
Yes,
Brittany,
ma'am.
is there anything that you would like to leave with the people? A word of encouragement about going out there and generating multiple streams of income?
I guess again, I'll just say again, like things like DoorDash. There's a lot of things online now, especially with COVID. So even if it's not DoorDash or if it's not something, if it's not a full-time job, there's a lot of part-time jobs that are available to work from the comfort of your own home. Take advantage of that. This is an unprecedented amount of time that we have never encountered before. Take advantage of that. If they're going to pay you to work from home, go and get them jobs and work from home, but still always take time for yourself. Get yourself to the point where you can still have money, and B, time to do self-care things, to get your nails done and get your feet done and get a body massage and get a facial and whatever it is that you need to do. Those things are important. You're not selfish for doing it. There's some things that we have to do just to maintain our sanity. So it's very important, if you're financially stable, that you're able to do things for yourself and you're able to do things for your future. So financially stable means different things to different people, but ultimately, in the end, to me, it means having things of your own, having things to pass down to your children, not having to worry about whether or not your bills are going to be paid. That's financial stability to me. Being able to know that even if this happens tomorrow, I'll be okay for a little bit till I get back on our feet. Because us, especially as Black women, we always get back on our feet, baby. Please believe that. Whatever it is that we got to do to make sure stuff gets done, I don't know too many Black women that do not do what they need to do to make sure them and their children are okay. But sometimes we need some time and sometimes we need some help. And networking is another thing that we didn't talk about that is very, very, very important. Life in the United States is all about who you know. So even if you are networking to sell supplies or things that you have, or just networking to meet people and possible future opportunities that you may not even know was an opportunity before you started doing that networking is important. Take advantage of job fairs, take advantage of community fairs, take advantage of farmers markets, take advantage of online Zoom meetings and different things of that. It really, really makes a difference. Who you know makes a difference.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much, Brittany, for coming on today
Of
and
course.
sharing some of your life experiences, giving us financial advice, telling us about some of the businesses you own and some of the strategies you use to generate multiple streams of income. We appreciate you as always.
No
Thank you.
problem. Thank you for having me as always. I love doing this. I think it's so fun and I love what you do for all of us. Like it's a beautiful thing that you genuinely care about more than just yourself. You're trying to get the word out there and make sure that we all are at least informed. If we ain't nothing else, we informed. Don't ever say that we ain't tell you. Now what you do with it is a whole nother thing. But we made the information available.
Absolutely. Y'all have a good Friday.
All right.
Bye.
Happy Friday. Thanks.